Come back to Literature Online with Mr. Adigun. Now, like I said before we went on break, that we shall be looking at the theme, the poetic devices, the diction, the tone, the mood, the style, and the structure as it is employed by the poet Niyi Osundare in the poem Not My Business. Line 1 of the poem, identify day. Day here depicts character. Depicts character, that this character as to the captors. Characters as to the captors. They are the people refers to the day. The day, as it is used here, refers to the captor, the oppressors, but they are unknown. So the writer makes use of the pronoun they to show a sense of disconnection, a sense of detachment, that he is not part of the perpetrator of the act. He is not part of the captor. He is not part of the oppressor. They picked Akoni. Akoni here is also another character in the play. They picked Akoni up one morning. So the use of Akoni and the use of they here make it known that the writer makes use of character, and by so saying, the poem could be referred to as a dramatic poem. A dramatic poem. And they can also say it is a narrative poem. A narrative poem. Why do we say it's a narrative poem? It is a narrative poem or dramatic poem by its employment of narrative elements, dramatic elements, such as character and monologue. The poet, Niyi Osundare, is the one talking alone. He said, they, characters, picked Akoni up one morning. One morning here is also another setting. It's also another setting. So the use of character and the use of setting makes the poem a narrative poem and also a dramatic poem. And they pick Akoni up one morning. It is still suspenseful. Suspenseful in the sense that they pick somebody, Akoni, noon. What time? Morning, noon. But what happened to, what did Akoni do? What offense has Akoni committed? This we do not know. Here, the writer, the readers will be kept at suspense. So now, by the use of that, it shows that the idea in this line is not complete. So it's running into another line. Hence, we have what we call enjambments. Enjambments. Enjambments, or you call it run on line. Enjambment or run on line. That is to say, line 1 is running on line 2 to make a complete sense. And anytime there is the use of enjambment, there is suspense. So the use of suspense is coming under style. The use of suspense is coming under style. And the use of enjambment is coming under poetic devices. Poetic devices, enjambments, is coming under poetic devices. Then we move to the next line, and that is the captor unknown, pick somebody up, Kakoni, one morning. What did they do to him? Having picked him up, the next line reveals that to us. That's where the line 1 is depending on line 2. That is beats. They beat him up, soft like clay. They beat him up, soft like clay. So it is here we get to know what they finally did to Akoni, which is the beating, and that is the enjambment that we talk about, run online. And the use of the word like, it establishes the use of simile. Simile is also another poetic devices employed by the poets. Say, they beat him, soft like clay. So they are comparing the beating, the manner of Akoni's beating, to an element that is as soft as clay. This is depicting the fact that they beat Akoni in a manner that makes him go or appear perplexed, inactive, uncoordinated, paralyzed, just as soft clay. That is to say, he couldn't stand alone. He couldn't stand upright. That is to say, after the beating, Akoni became boneless. No bone except flesh. And the flesh cannot stand without the bone. So the writer is giving us such a description, and there is no other illustration he could use to express himself than to just compare the beating to a soft clay, to show the way and manner Akoni was beaten beyond recognition. That is the use of that simile. So, and he's using that comparison, the beating to soft clay, to give us the vividity of Akoni's beating, so that we can understand that it is a beating characterized with remorselessness. It is a beating that is characterized with what? Mercilessness. Okay, I continue to the next line. And stuffed him down the belly. Stuffed him. When you say the use of the word stuffed, it is an example of what? Diction. It's an example of diction. It's an example of diction. Stuffed him. That is to say, they rough and malhandled him. They packed him. He is squeezed. They banged him. So the use of that stuffed, a diction by the poet, is to show the inhuman treatment, is to show the merciless manner, is to show the insensitivity of the captor towards the man in question, towards the captor, towards the captive. Stuffed him, squeezed him down the belly. The use of the word belly here is an instance of personification. It's an instance of personification. It's an instance of personification. Belly. Belly is an attribute of human given to waiting jeep. Jeep cannot possess the attribute belly. It is for human, but the writer transfer that attribute to non-living thing, jeep. So it makes it personification. And he said,